Alright, so I wanted to bring y'all in, show you where we're at. We've already put on our new handle. Now that we got everything taken out and all the tracks, rear track, we're fixing to remove the front track. I'll show you how to do that. And we've got the window over there. I went ahead and put this in. The old one was all rusted and corroded up. This was all rusted up. Pop riveted in. So got it all working again. And we got the front track right here. Let's see if I can show y'all. This is the front track for the window. It's held on by these two bolts. You might just want to make a mark or record your positioning of it. That way you won't have to make a huge adjustment to your window later when you reinstall it. And it's held on by this bolt here. So you got two up here and one on the bottom. Remove that, and then we can take that track out and clean it and re-grease it. There we go. It's held on by these little bolts. I'll clean them up. We can reuse them. And they're all the same size, so you won't. I'll just stick them there for now. Clean them up and reuse them. And now we can take this track out of here. It's going to be greasy and dirty. And we ought to be able to just slide it out. My light's probably in the way, but we can slide it out to this hole. And there's the front track. You can see it's old grease in there, gunk. We'll clean it up real good and probably replace this little padding there. It's wore out, showing a little bit of metal, so we're gonna have to replace that to help guide the window without making a squeaking noise. And again, that's the front track. We'll clean it up, get it prepped for reinstallation, and continue on with this door. There's a lot of components to it. It looks complicated, but it's not so bad. You got a front track, same thing on the rear, as we showed you as we was taking it out. And the next step we'll do after we clean everything and right before, well, I'll probably install it after I put the window in and get everything else in, but will be the window felt itself. This is the original. Should be some felt here and here. You know, a good little 1/4 inch thick, but it's wore out. They're held on by little Phillips screws. I think there's 6 of them, basically. Put the new one on after I get the window in. Some people put this in now, but when you put your window in, you got a window drop stop right here. And I'll just drop the window all the way down. That'll give me clearance to install the new one then. If I put the new one on now, it's kind of a hassle to get the window in there. You got to lift up the rubber and everything and kind of work with that. So I won't put that in right now. I'll put it in probably the very last thing I do to the door, other than the seal around the door we'll be putting in. And we'll also be putting in the new seal around the window here. The old one here, you can see it's pretty wore out. And it was missing a piece anyways, but we'll reinstall new there, show you how that works, and the seal around the door itself. We've got the new seal for that. So that's the next step. I went ahead and did the door handle because it's easier now to do it while everything's out of your way. You can reach in there and it's held on by a little clip. I'll show you real quick. This little clip down here. Let me get the camera if I can work it. That little clip kind of holds it together, locks it in place. And that clip and that pop rivet's the only thing to hold your handle in. It does wedge up here. It's got a little slot, and you can just slide it back, pop rivet it in. She's solid as a rock. That's the front track here. We got it all cleaned up. We're fixing to grease it. Put some new felt there for the window where it was wore out. And my plan, let me run it through you real quick. Don't mind the mess. I've already stuck in the rear track, the rear track right here. As you can see, got it all greased and cleaned, and we got it mounted and bolted in. Nothing else is in yet. Of course, the actuator you saw over there. And basically what I like to do is put the tracks in. We got a thunderstorm, so I apologize about the noise, but I like to put the tracks in first, then we'll put our actuator in, and that'll give us plenty of room to put the actuator in. If you put it in first, then you got the brace down there, and it's kind of a little more difficult to get your arm in there and put your tracks in. So I like to put them in first, get that one in, we'll put the front one in, then we'll do the actuator. Took off the stops, the window stops that you got inside the tracks on both of them, so I can slide the window. When we put it in, we'll just slide it straight down in the track. We'll get the window in it and everything, then we can put the stops back in. We'll have plenty of access because of the window stop bolts right here. You got plenty of room there. And that's a little tip that I would do if y'all are doing this repair on a second gen or any kind of car. We've got our new window actuator in, and that's what we were after right there. So now we can use our window crank handle, and we got it bolted in nice and tight, put lock washers on it, and she's looking good. Got it mounted back here with these two bolts on that bracket, and we rolled it down to where we got access to put our window in, and put our nut there and there to get the window secured. And that's the next step. We're gonna do the window felt after the window's in. I'll just drop the window all the way down. It'll give me enough room to come in here and change that out, but it'll be easier to get the window in there now. I'll go ahead and take this one off. That'll be my next step. We'll go ahead and remove this and leave it bare. Put the window in, drop it in the tracks, get them bolted up, drop it down, because the window stop on the bottom is still off. We're getting this one wrapped up pretty quick. We got our new handle on, pop riveted on. We drilled out all the pop rivets to the actuator, put the new one in, greased it all up. This has always been broken since I've owned the car. So we got new clips. These are called doorbell locks, retainer clips. So basically you just slide them on and beat them over. Now it's locking as it should be. And we have installed our window. So our window is back in. I rolled it all the way down because our next thing we're going to be doing is replacing these. They're called window felts. It's an outside window felt. Here is what the part number is. Outer window felt without the chrome bead, because we've already got a chrome bead that's from the factory for the outside already, so we didn't need that. I just got the inner window felt. Basically they're held on by little Phillips screws. If I can get the light right, there's like 6 of them, but you can see it's old and worn out and needs to be replaced. So I rolled the window down. I put our new handle on just for now to roll this down. We've got our window stop out, which would be bolted here, And it looks like this, except ours is missing the rubber piece that would go here. There should be a round little piece of rubber I gotta order now, and that would be locked inside, and that will keep your window from going all the way down. But that's out now, so I can make it go all the way down to get clearance for this. So we're making progress, I'm happy to say. And we're fixing to take these screws out. It wasn't so hard doing the window. I couldn't film it because I'm here by myself doing this at the moment. And basically, you got to put your window like on an angle, tilted towards the inside. Feed the roller through this big opening, and then kind of work it down into the slot. I was able to feed both of them in through the top. Now that I got the window locks out, the rollers will slip right down in there. You can line both of them up and just slide it down until you get to your track here where it bolts in. I've got it window down right now so you can't see it, but through this hole there will be a nut that holds your window onto this track, and I can show you the nut right there. So that nut holds the window actually onto the track there, and then there's another one located right about here. So once you drop it there, you can screw your nuts on, and that will hold your window in place, and then you're pretty much in business. So we're going to get to this outer window felt, replace that, and then I'm happy to say then we'll be doing the seal that goes around the door, weather stripping seal. Goes all the way around the door and locks in here and there on the corners. I'll show you that and how that goes on and what to do. Simple stuff. And then from there we'll do around the window trim. Brand new rubber here. All this will be replaced. And then I can do the door panel and pretty much wrap this interior up. Rebuild everything. This is actually on a 79 Camaro 2nd Gen F body. However, all the cars from the 60s, 70s, and many more all have window felts, and they all have door sills, and they all have window trim sills, and they're pretty much the same pattern, the same, not pattern, but same way to install them and how they're going to work. So if you can do one, you can do hundreds. So stay tuned, and we'll bring y'all back when we get to the next step, which will be installing this, and show you how easy that is. I can show you real quick, I mean, it ain't nothing to take them off. Maybe I can do this with one hand. Just remove the little screws. They're about like that. And then this thing will come right out. They got little slots so you can kind of move them up or down to adjust them if you need. I don't want to lose the little screws. I dropped one, so let me track it down real quick before I kick it off in the BFE. Oh, it's already gone. I'll find it here in a little bit. There goes another one. But anyway, you can see how it's kind of still on there, but you can wedge it off and work it off of there. It's not that hard. There we go. Pop 3 there. And that's it. And you can look behind. Mine's pretty in good shape, A lot of times this will be rusted out, and you might have to work it a little bit. You might want to sand the rust off, de-rust it, and get it with some primer and some paint just to keep it from rusting. I'll go through a little bit of this. It's got a little surface rust on it. Probably shoot a little enamel on there to keep it from rusting any further, but I got 1 or 2 more screws, and then I'll be able to yank this off completely and install the new one. So we'll bring y'all back when we get to that point and let you see the result of the difference between a wore out one. It's supposed to be some belt here in that section and in this section, like a little 4-inch piece. But we'll bring y'all back. Y'all stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Alright, we got our new piece on. Now we're going to be installing our window stops for the up. So your window can only go up so far. And they just slide right down these tracks. This is the rear track. And basically it just slips right down there. And then you can access it through here and bolt it in. Let me see if I can get some better light. Then you'll be able to access it through that hole and bolt it in there, and you can see where it was mounted. So we're just going to put it right back where it was. And then we'll do the next one and we'll bring y'all back. We are now going to be installing our weather stripping for the door. That's one end, and that's what the other end will look like. And you'll see it's got all these little plastic little clips, I guess you could call them, and you're gonna be putting them in all your little holes, already pre-drilled from the factory, of course. And basically it's super simple. You slap that there, start popping these into little holes, and it'll have a bolt here and a bolt over here to hold this in. Same with the other end over there. There'll be two little spots there for you to bolt it on the end. And this just feeds all the way around the door, underneath, all the way around. Now, one little thing is, a lot of people, you can put these little clips in the hose, and that'll help hold it, such as like that. However, I like to use something like this black super weather stripping adhesive as well. I put a thin little coat on here. I'll just put it straight on too, like in the corners or something, just a little bead, not much, just run it down, and that'll help guarantee this will never pop out, and it'll hold it and get a nice seal there for your door. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll bring you back when we got it done. It's super simple. It takes like 5 to 10 minutes to get it all done. You might have to hold it for a second, when you're gluing them. Just hold it there for a second or two. That stuff dries pretty quick, and you'll be in business and work your way all the way around to the other end, and we'll bring you in over there. Now that we've got that all tucked under, we brought it around, brought it up here, got it bolted here and here like the factory did. I put silicone on here, or the weather stripping glue that I showed you earlier, and then I just tape it, because it takes like 5 to 10 minutes or so for it to dry up and cure, and that'll help hold it in place so it's nice and flush up against everything like it should be. And our door seal is now done. I'll let that dry, take it off in like 10 minutes, take off the tape, and she'll be good to go. And the other end's all buttoned up, like that's where I started. Now we're on to the window sill for your window channel. I've already peeled off all the rubber, the old rubber, and we are starting to put on a new. Got 2 screws here holding it on, and then I put, same thing, some black super weather strip adhesive on there. And what I do is I put a little bead on the flat side, because basically this just tucks up under, and one end, you'll see this one end here will tuck inside this, and then this end will tuck inside the upper lip. Super simple, but I put the weather stripping on there as well to help adhere to the car, and we won't ever have to worry about it, coming down or dragging down or anything. The factory does put it a little bit on the ends like this, but they don't put any on this. However, I'm going to put a little bead to help it secure it. And they had a little bit on this corners. They usually do the ends a little, and then on the corners. But I pretty much put just a little bead on everything. I'll just lip it on this, stick it up there, wedge it in like it should be. Super simple, guaranteed not to fall off when you're going down the road 80 miles an hour and the window's down. And that's how I do it. So don't be intimidated by any of this. Super easy to do. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And then that'll take care of all of our weather stripping on this car. We've already done everything else. The other side's already done. Then I can continue on with this door. Quick refreshment. We put on our new door locks. They're called bell crank door locks. Slip them on, they're super easy. We got our new actuator in here, so I could put this new window thing on, this new handle or window crank handle, because the other one I showed you was all stripped out. So now we got that all done. We got our tracks in, we're all cleaned up and greased. Door's pretty good. I may have to do some final adjustments to the window. I don't think so, because I pretty much put everything back in the same markings it was. So it should be dead on, if not super close. Then I can continue on putting this door panel on. And this car has not seen, the driver's side has not seen a door panel in 24 years or so. It's been off that long. I don't even know what happened to it. When I bought the car, it had been sitting for 20 plus years, and I've been working on it now, going on the 5th year that I've been restoring everything brand new on this car practically. So I'm excited to get this door panel on and put it all together and button it up, and my interior will be complete. Other than seat belts, I need to buy some new seat belts. I put the old ones in for now. The rear ones are in good shape and all working, but I need to replace these for the front and get a console. And then I've got to get the front bucket seats reupholstered. I don't think I'll be doing it myself. I think I'll just farm that out. No cat. No kitty. So anyway, that's Piper, our shop cat. And anyway, I just wanted to bring you this and let you see the weather stripping going on and how to do it for those who haven't done it. This application would work on, it's the same technique for pretty much any car. So you can do one, you can do pretty much all of them. Super simple. And we'll bring you back when this is all finished and wrapped up, and we'll continue on. So until then, y'all have a beautiful day.